Welcome back, my beautiful friends. We're going to be taking a look at some secret FaceTime tricks and tips that you can really do on any iPhone. Now, some of these are situated more towards iOS 15, so chances are you do have an iPhone that supports iOS 15. So hopefully, when that time comes and you officially, come out to it, then you'll be able to utilize a majority of these cool little, secret things that Apple put ahead into FaceTime. But even if not, there's a lot of cool things you can do within FaceTime on iOS 14 or below that are still super relevant. So the very first thing I would recommend doing, or the cool thing that you can do, is when you go ahead and open up FaceTime, and let's go ahead and say you're on a FaceTime link. So right now I'm technically in a FaceTime call, even though you can't see anything, you can actually zoom in on a FaceTime call. So before, if maybe if you had to show somebody something, you would just, click on the screen and maybe like get closer to it or whatever, but you can actually zoom in into something. So all you need to do is when you see your little picture-in-picture thing, now it looks a little bit different, on my specific device than yours, but the concept is still the same. So you want to double click on your little thing until you get into this little thing. And what you want to do is you want to zoom in just like so. Now you can see you actually just zoomed into the picture. Now you can see, of course, I'm not showing anybody anything, but this would be the same thing you would do on a FaceTime call. So now you can zoom in and you can zoom out. And I do think if you have an ultra wide sensor, you can actually zoom out all the way. So this one has a telephoto lens. You can see I can zoom in all that. If I wanted to, I can zoom out all the way too. So that's essentially it. You have all these cool little things that you have right there. If you want to shrink the screen back up, you can click there. If you want to make it bigger, you click there. And that's essentially how you can zoom in. And this is by far one of my favorite things within FaceTime. And again, you can do this with iOS 15, 14, 13, any version of iOS for the most part. Now, another cool thing with FaceTime is the picture-in-picture version of FaceTime. So what you can do is if your phone supports iOS 14, you can either click the home button or swipe up, and you will see the FaceTime window will still be there. But you can also resize this window. So right now, I'm not in a FaceTime call with anybody, but let's say I was, their picture or their FaceTime call would be here, and I could go ahead and use the screen or click out here, just use this phone as I normally would, and you can just have that call there. Now, if you want to go on pause on FaceTime here, you would swipe to the side, and as long as you see that little thing right there, you are on pause, so they cannot see you. If you want to bring it back up, you click there, and you'll be able to, go through with that call. Now, if you want to continue, you double click on the specific call like right here, or you can just click on the little thing right up there, and you can come straight into that phone call like this, click done, and you can get back into the call this way. So that's another really cool thing. If you're on iOS 14, you'll be able to do that. On iOS 15, you'll be able to do a couple other things too. Now, another cool thing, which some of you may already know this, is recording FaceTime calls. Now, the audio for some reason doesn't work when you record a FaceTime call, which is very annoying, but you do have the capability of actually recording the screen itself. And as long as, and as long as you have the screen recording toggle on your specific control center, all you have to do is click on the control center, screen recording toggle right there, wait until it goes down, and you'll be able to screen record as you normally would. You can do whatever you want to, and whenever you're done, you go and swipe down, click here, and that's essentially how you screen record your specific FaceTime calls. So for some reason, like I mentioned, the audio doesn't work. There may be some workarounds, but for some reason, that's a very annoying thing. Now, one of the more particular iOS 15 FaceTime features, so if you're not on iOS 15, if you're below, then obviously this won't work for you yet, but once iOS 15 officially comes out, if you're watching this when 15 comes out, then you already know it. It's essentially screen sharing within FaceTime. Now, this is one of the craziest cool features that I love. I can't even believe Apple put this in, to be honest. It's so awesome. And what this is essentially sharing your screen within FaceTime. So if you can see up here, there's a couple of different toggles. There's the little message icon, sound icon, the mute icon, FaceTime icon, and then you have this little toggle at the end. Now this is your sharing screen capability. So if I go and click here, and it's still grayed out for me, I think it's because I don't have anyone else in this call, but if I clicked share my screen, it would essentially share whatever I was doing on my specific display. So I could do whatever I want to, I can continue on, do whatever I want to, show people whatever. Let's say I went on to phone calls, I showed people stuff. They could see whatever I'm doing on my display. So that's another really cool thing that I didn't think Apple was going to bring in, but they actually did bring in. And that's a really cool feature. I'm really happy they brought that in. So that's essentially, pretty much sharing your screen within FaceTime. Now, again, that is particular with iOS 15. It is not supported yet for every single person, but once iOS 15 officially comes out, you'll basically be able to do that, which is a really cool little feature. Now, the next thing is within another iOS 15, particular feature, and this is something that's super crazy in my opinion. This is even crazier than sharing my screen, is actually getting FaceTime calls to people outside of iOS. So if you have an Android, a Windows, or whatever else, you'll actually be able to go ahead and pretty much use FaceTime on those devices. So all it takes for you to do is open up your FaceTime, app when you're on iOS 15. Like I mentioned, if you're not on iOS 15, this is not going to work. And you'll see a couple different options up top. You'll see New FaceTime, and you'll see Create Link. Now, this is essentially how you go ahead and create a link for, so you have to send it out to somebody to join the, call. Now, they don't have to have an iCloud account, they don't have to do anything. As long as you send them a link, they can access it. So you go ahead and click Create Link right here, and a link has already been generated and created for you. So at this point, you can copy the link, you can iMessage the link out, you can Snapchat it to somebody. If you want to just go ahead and click message, you can type in the person's name and send out this link, and they can essentially join your FaceTime call. Now at this point, when you send out that link, it'll go ahead and come right here. So as you can see, I guess it just dropped down for me. So if I go and click create link again, I go and click copy or whatever, it'll essentially be able to tell you like, oh, this is the new upcoming FaceTime link that you just created. So you can join that FaceTime link by clicking on it just like that. You'll come into this little panel right here. Now all you have to do is go and click join, and essentially the person you have joined this specific FaceTime link, but somebody else can join the FaceTime link from any other caller out there. So if you're on Android, if you're on iOS, if they have a copy of that link, they can join it. If you lose that specific FaceTime link, you can always go to the edge where you have that eye right there, go and click on that eye, and you can see that little share link option again. So all you have to do is go ahead and click share link, copy the link, and then you can go ahead and join that call once that link is copied, or you can send somebody that link again, whatever the case is. But that's essentially how you go ahead and do that. Now, those are essentially the main little secret tricks and tips within FaceTime. There are a bunch of other cool little things that Apple has put in within FaceTime, which some of you may already know, but it's the effects icon right here. So if you click on effects, there are tons of cool little things you can do within FaceTime. Now, some of these may be situated more for iOS 15, like I mentioned, but a lot of these are really cool. So you can obviously do the emojis thing. You guys already know that, but you also have filters. You can add filters for your specific, video on FaceTime. As you can see, you can add them as they continue on. Now for me, I'm not going to put it on because it does slow it down quite a bit. You can also add text to your specific FaceTime video. So if I go and click here and I just type in hi, you can see that it'll go ahead, and I kind of messed that up. Well, essentially you can add text to that. I kind of messed that one up, but you can add text to it, which is really cool. You can also go ahead and add like a effect if you want to. So if you want to add this effect on it, as you can see, you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller, but you can add these type of effects to your specific thing as well. And there's a ton of other things, your fitness, Fruit Ninja One, if you have more apps, you have that capability, but the possibilities are endless. So those are a couple cool little tricks and tips within FaceTime that you can utilize, whether you're on iOS 14 or 15, or maybe even some when you're below that. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.